Cleveland. It's me, the Army Barbie, the one and only Lady Inferno Diamond, and I am a drag queen.
It seems like it's taken a while to get here, but we're here.
It's taken us literally all day.
It takes a while to look good, and that's okay. Cheers to that.
So normally I have the people I interview start off by saying like how we know each other.
I call her Ream. Most of the people I know call her Ream because we met in the military, the National Guard, and we were in the same unit for years, but we just really weren't close. And then we went on our deployment, and we bonded over being the hottest people on the whole deployment in our company, and we would go on late night walks and talk crap about people.
The late night cigars.
Do you remember we would play Animal Crossing on top of the bunkers?
Not until right just now do I remember that. I remember taking our chairs up there. Do you remember sitting in those old tires and just complaining about being hot?
Yes. There was a lot of things to complain about, and being hot was one of them.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
I'm ready.
So when did you become a drag queen?
5 years. It was just my 5-year anniversary this past November.
What was your first show like? Can you remember it?
I remember my first song was Whole Lotta Woman by Kelly Clarkson. I looked a mess. I went out there, I performed, and I didn't see myself really doing anything else. I think drag is a way of self-expression. I have had shows where people will come up to me afterwards and they'll be like, I've been having such a terrible week, or I've had this happen in my life, I've had this happen in my life, and you made me feel something. I like to give people an experience, so no matter what, if there's 5 people in the room, which I've had before, or if there's 200, which I've had before, I'm always going to give the same show, because you never know who's watching, how you can impact them, or what can come of it.
Best and worst performance so far?
I would probably have to say my solo talent at Miss Tri-State All-Star Newcomer, having a worst performance. I really don't try and hold on to things. As long as I make it on stage and I'm able to do what I do, it's a good performance. But I do have some nights where I've slipped, or I've gotten on stage, done my whole number, and I felt like I was up there for a literal minute. On our deployment, when we got our 4-day pass, I was performing in El Paso, and I had just started drag before we left for our deployment. It was probably a year I'd been doing it. So it was very special to get an out-of-town booking, and a bunch of people from our unit came. I have won a crown. I've competed in many pageants. I've done prides all over. I'm booked in different cities, different states. I just have to say I've had a journey, and a thankful one at that.
What is your, the overall goal?
I don't really have an end goal for drag, because I just feel like there are queens out there that have their own makeup lines, their own hotels, their own shows. I don't ever want to put a limit on what I can do, so I don't really have an end goal for drag. My goal in drag is to always keep elevating. That's what I want to do. I want to always be on an upward trajectory in my drag. But right now, one of the current goals that we are working on, not current, but it's a goal that a lot of queens have, is getting on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Of course. We just want to meet Trixie and Katya. We just want to meet them. What time? Let me get your opinion on the Florida.
The only thing that I think of when I hear things like that, people trying to ban drag, they see us living our life freely and unapologetically, and they want to join in. But they're afraid, and that's the only thing that I can think of.
Give us all access to your emails, every politician who's against drag shows.
Truly. Let us see your phones. How many of the politicians who are against drag have Grindr up in their phone?
I want to see that search history.
I got a residency last year. So I got a residency last year at Studio S117, which is the largest LGBTQI plus space in Ohio. Immediate thought when I was cast wasn't, oh, this is going to be such a great thing. This is such a life-changing opportunity. My first thought was, oh my God, this place is so big. It's so easy for somebody to come in here and do a shooting. Also, for a while, I wanted to carry a gun around in my suitcase. No firearm safety, so why would it be a problem for me to have a gun? Really crazy. Like, we had literal Nazis showing up to performances last summer.
Not like with signs? Or
yes, with signs.
Because you got, for what? Just because?
Performing. Just performing. It was when, like, they started the whole band drag thing. That really, like, brought all the crazies out of the woodwork. People just became way too comfortable and way too okay with showing hate.
What shows do you have coming up?
I do bingo every
Saturday
or every other
Saturday
at Studio West with my co-host Dakota Cox. I will be at the Intervalt nightclub someday in February. Keep your eyes peeled. I will be there performing with one of the newest cast members. Season 16 of Drag Race was just announced, and I will be there performing with my grandmother Maya Iman LePage.
Explain the concept of like a drag mother and a drag grandmother for people who may not know.
To me, a drag family is people that you hang out with outside of the club that are like family. Like, my drag mother is like my actual mother. I know my mother, I love my mother, I talk to my mother often, but in the drag world, it's kind of hard to get a footing, and there are people that will take you under their wing and essentially be a parent to you and like teach you the game, like how to do makeup or how to do this or how to navigate bookings or like for advice or something like that. That is essentially what a drag parent is. Like, I just went bowling with my drag family last week and I see them weekly.
So where are the best spots in Ohio to do drag? And where to go to see you all the time?
I would say some pretty good venues that I've been to have been the Winchester Tavern, Studio West 117 up in Lakewood, Axis over in Columbus, District West over in Columbus, the Birdcage in Cincinnati. There's so many different places to go and see drag. You just gotta get on Google and see when the show's happening. Literally so easy. This is like so easy. The way you ask the questions is just like, we could easily do a podcast.